Jim Nantz, lead play-by-play voice of the Masters, the NFL on CBS, NCAA Final Four. Man, he would have been busy this week. Instead, what's your schedule like?
Every day you come up with creative ways to try to make it a little bit different than what it is. And by the way, hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And all friends there, Dan Nantz and everyone. It's a constant living reminder of where I'm supposed to be. And it's a wonderful thing. People have good intentions about it, but it happens throughout the day. And I think once we get through Sunday and the final day of the scheduled Masters, I can go back to where every day I don't get flooded with things that make me live in the past. It's difficult to live in the present because I've went through the NCAA tournament virtually every day. Hey, you would have been going to the regionals this week. Hey, how are things down in Atlanta? Yuck, yuck, yuck for the Final Four. How's one shining moment shaping up? And now, of course, we've transitioned to already today. Were you out there for the honorary starters this morning? So, it's.
Where would you be right now at 11:08 East Coast time? where would you be physically?
I would physically. I would have been on the ground since 7:15ish to make sure I was in place to watch Jack and Gary hit the ceremonial first shot. I've been going to Augusta since 1986, Dan, and I've never missed that moment, that ceremony, going back to the days of Sarahs and Nelson and Snead, and then, of course, Arnie with Jack and Gary, and now it's Jack and Gary, and I've never missed it. I just love that moment. It's so heavy with nostalgia and paying tribute to the heritage of the game, and it's one of my favorite things of the whole year. I get into things that people say, what are your favorite sporting events? Is it calling this? Is it calling that? I love things like the NFL schedule release. Those are my favorite kind of sports shows. The draft, the NCAA bracket release, the opening tee shots at Augusta. Those are my favorite things along the way. I'm not going to break out into Julie Andrews from Sound of Music and sing my favorite things, but they are my favorite things. And I would have missed that. Right now at 11:08, the round is well underway. And who knows? Depending on who had a hot hand early, I might have walked out and saw someone play late stages of their first nine, or even as maybe the first groups are approaching Amen Corner. We would have been going through some meetings. We wouldn't have been coming on the air with our partners from ESPN for another 3 to 4 hours. So lunch is on the near horizon, which is my one chance to sit down and really kind of catch up with Lance, our great producers through all these years, where we kind of start game planning what we're going to do the rest of the day. But by the way, while you have me in the moment, you have me on the grounds there, I've got the late night show tonight. So I will be here, so to speak, since 7:15, and we'll be leaving the property closer to 11:30ish after we finally feed the late night highlight show.
Oh, man.
And I love every minute of it. I do. I'm gonna have that sense every day of awareness, Dan, of where we were supposed to be. And by the way, maybe in here somewhere today, I would be on the phone with you anyway. We normally do something about this.
Well, we do the Jim Nantz Sound Alike contest, which you're going to win because you're unless we move it to November. And then I'm thinking,
you will.
Hello Friends,
Yes.
and then Dogwoods and Foliage, which we normally don't hear at Augusta. Can you drop Foliage for us in November?
I haven't worked mentally on how that's going to sound or thought about the optics of what that's going to look like. I'm just hopeful, like everyone else, that this sports part of our universe, which this country loves, and it's a rabid sports nation, just hope that by the time the new schedule for the Masters, November 12th through the 15th, we are well into the sports world being back and operational. Yeah, and how about the fact that there'll be a Masters in November, and, of course, you'll circle back around and 5 months later have a second one, so 2 in 5 months. You're going to be running a lot of sound-alike contests in the span of 5 months.
Which one? I know it's tough. It's like choosing which child you like best, but which do you miss the most, the Masters or the Final Four?
No, it really is. It's impossible to say which one you miss the most because it's basically a very clever way, Dan. I give you major props for that of asking me which one I love the most.
Thank you.
And we've been down this road a few times, but it really is difficult to not be at Augusta right now. Now, I lived through all of March, as I said, longing to be wherever the site might have been, starting with the Big Ten tournament. I got to do one game, a regular season game at my alma mater, which meant a lot to me down in Houston. It's an unbelievable chance to go back on campus. But sitting with Bill Raftery, Grant Hill, working with Tracy Wolfson and our crew, I love it. I love it. But Augusta runs so deep through my veins. It was the thing that most, I think, inspired me to want to one day be in this industry as a young kid. Just listening to the storytelling and seeing the visuals that came out of Augusta, I was just crazy in love with the event. And that's all I ever wanted to do since I was 11 years old. I wanted to work for CBS one day. And at that time, if I was really being right out in the open about it, I was really molded into a aspiring young broadcaster, pretending because of the way CBS presented golf and the NFL. I loved the NFL coverage back in those days, and those two sports really had me as a crazed, obsessed CBS fan. And I'm so thankful that I've had a chance for my life to somehow follow that path that I could only dream of as a young kid.
CBS Sports announced its updated programming for Saturday, April 11th, Sunday, April 12th. They will feature the final rounds of the 04 and the 2019 Masters tournaments. Two classic tournaments featured victories from Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. I heard that you spoke to both Phil and Tiger recently. What'd you talk about?
We didn't speak. We spent hours, actually, taping each of their lookbacks. Phil will be on Saturday, the 2004 rebroadcast of Phil's first green jacket, and it was an amazing day. I had never looked back at that day of golf, or that broadcast, I should say. And Phil is in maybe every third segment calling golf with me for, at times, stretches of 15 minutes, maybe longer. Very generous, both of them with their time, and just exceptional insight from them both. And we were with all yesterday morning with Tiger starting at 8 o'clock my time out here in California. And I'm on my computer at Pebble Beach, and Tiger was on at his home in Florida, just like Phil had been from his home down south of me here in California. And we just did the whole Zoom treatment with the broadcast running in a center box on our screen, and we called golf. And same thing, Tiger, this was not an interview. This was several hours of poring over tiny little details about how it got done, key situational moments. What were you thinking? And we're just following along the broadcast feed, Dan. So there were no edits. There's no later post-edit. Mm-hmm. It's the broadcast feed with the broadcast audio as an undercurrent. And what I thought was pretty amazing is how both of them transitioned into like the analyst role so smoothly. So I could be, for example, Tiger standing on the tee at 12, which we all know last year's tournament, that was really the pivotal point in the entire and final round. 4 of the last 6 players hit it in the water, including the other 2 in his group, Molinari and Finau. So Tiger's pondering what to do. Francesco's already hit it in the water, playing with him and being up first. Then there's a cut to Xander Schauffele hitting his second shot. He's right in the mix. He's hitting his second shot at 13. So, I steer the commentary. Let's go to 13. Here's Schauffele now, going for the green in 2. And Tiger just went right into some commentary about Schauffele's skill and his ability and him being in the mix and hearing the roars from over at 13. Actually, it was KJ Choi and Ernie Els who were over at 13. And what was circling in his head, because he heard the reaction from over at 13 and heard the roars, cut back to Tiger's shot at 12. Move ahead to Brooks Koepka over here at 14. Cantlay for birdie. And We did this through the course of the final round. It's not every segment.
You're amazing. You're a machine. No, you are. That's great. So that'll be coming up this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Are you in your office?
I am.
Okay. Can you do?
It's in a bad state right now.
Can you do me a favor?
It's been turned upside down as I've been trying to turn into a studio doing these Zoom shows. So I need some serious. I'm going to have the time though to reorganize. What am I looking for?
Okay. Could you do us a favor? You're going to do the nation a favor.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I need you to get up. I need you to go into the backyard and turn on the Augusta music.
Oh, that's problematic.
Why?
You know why? I access it off my phone. Now, I'm not sure that I can.
Oh, no.
Let me see if I can. That's
okay.
Interesting. Can I do a phone call and go to my Sonos? I'm walking out of my office.
Okay.
Out my front door.
Okay. All right. Beautiful view, by the way.
Overcast. Well, thank you. Overcast day here at Cobble. It is so quiet here. It's I'm doing a scene. We call this a scene set.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
It's a gorgeous day. The skies are overcast as we welcome you to the opening round of the Masters. You want a tradition unlike any other in here?
Absolutely.
And this tradition unlike any other. Okay, I'm putting you on speaker.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go to this app. This is really exciting and a little nerve-wracking because I'm not sure I can pull it off. Okay. It's loading up.
Okay. Do you got a wedge there with you?
Memories. A lot of good. What's that?
You got a wedge with you?
I don't.
Get Jackson to go get you one. Or Jameson. Jameson, go get. Go. I'm thinking of my son. Go get Jameson. So are you?
My little Jameson is sleeping in this morning.
Okay. All right. So can we
Let
get?
me see. It says Wi-Fi isn't connected.
Oh.
Fix it. I think I might have been. What a shame. This could have been epic.
It could have.
Let's not give up on it yet.
If I had given you a heads up, that might have helped you.
Would have been all over it.
Yeah.
Would have been on already.
I blame Fritzy.
I miss you guys up here.
Yeah,
we didn't have our annual shootout, so Andrew,
McLovin.
Andy is McLovin is still the champ.
I know. Oh.
Well, that's from you.
Oh, that's our backup. No, I want to hear it from your backyard. There's a difference in backup and backyard.
So do I.
Jim's got great sound system there.
Are you? I'm starting to see some promise here.
Okay.
Don't give up on me.
No, never.
Now, I want to give you a little jolt here.
Okay.
As you said, we're doing this as a favor to the nation.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give you instead, if it comes out, we'll start with this and we'll end with the melody, okay?
Okay.
Let's see if this works.
Okay.
Come on now. It's hourglassing, Dan.
This is our one shining moment.
This will have to be a great substitute for it. I had it all the way to the music cut. Unable to play. Unable to play, it says. Never had that come up before. It has to be because I'm on the phone.
Okay, we're going to play the music, and I'm going to let you act as if the Masters is happening right now. So
I don't feel right about it.
Do your best.
Maybe we should just do a little bit. We'll just try to do a little bit. But
okay, here we go.
I'm going to do it under the heading of this, Dan. We're friends, welcome to Thursday at the Masters. Our hearts and thoughts go out to all of you, and I'm being very serious. This has been the most fascinating time for any of us in our lives, and we're going to get through this together, one step at a time. Stay safe, stay home, stay healthy. God bless you all on this holy week, and we'll look forward to seeing you in November.
That was golf applause.
You know what I've done? I've shut myself out. I've locked myself out of my home. I was trying to go back to my office. We had to deliver the message above all that's in the heart, because these are the wildest, craziest, and it's just, it's really sad times. But I do want to bring back some optimism and some hope. That's what spring is all about, right, Dan? I mean,
yep.
You look it up. Spring is a season of renewal. It's all about hope.
And you got Tony Romo back? Well, you never lost him, but you got him back?
Yeah, he never went anywhere. Where did he go?
He went to the bank.
There's news for me. Okay.
He's still at the bank. Hello, Cash. Hello, ATM.
We're having a lot of back and forth by text every day. I love the guy, and he's down sheltering with his home in Dallas, and I'm so happy that all worked out. We've got many things, and listen, there are so many people right now that are suffering, and it's why your show, and to be able to make people laugh a little bit and be able to still have a place in the sports universe, is why it's so important, because you need certain things to keep you uplifted. So that's where your role serves. You keep going on. I mean, I'm sitting here on the sidelines. I've got nowhere to go, and I'm making the most out of this situation. I've never in my life, never in my career, ever had this kind of time with my family, and we're aware of how horrific it is, particularly back in New York, but all over, the number and thousands of people that are affected by it. And we our family is we're a prayerful bunch, and we're really thinking of everybody at this time, and it's just nice to be able to get on the phone, talk a little bit, laugh a little bit. But I do want to say this. I spent a lot of time watching and listening, and more importantly, coming up with my own conclusions on these data spots, data places that are making projections, and where we're going to go. Where is the peak? When's the flattening of the curve? All these things we've really learned about as a nation. Mm-hmm. And this is the tough weekend, Dan, as you know. This is when it's supposed to be at its peak in the next few days. If you look at that data that Bill Gates funds that University of Washington study, and thankfully they've brought their numbers down, their projections significantly. They've adjusted twice in the last week. And again, I'm just an amateur at this, reading this stuff and printing it out. It's really easy to go online and find it. But you look at these curves and everything, and if we all keep doing what we're doing, it's really key. We don't let go of it now. You stay at home. Stay away from others. Keep the 6-foot distance when you have to go to the market. All these things that we're practicing. If we do this, I can't speak to what this means as far as rekindling the sports universe, but I can tell you this. As a society, the numbers are going to drop significantly and fast. And we'll have a summer where our hospitals are not going to be anywhere close to what they have right now as far as being populated. And we're at least going to have a stretch. I can't speak to the seasonality of it, but things are going to get better soon. That's my interpretation of what I look at the numbers. And I'm hearing a lot of these experts, and I'd love to meet these folks like Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx, who never get a day off and are trying to lead us through science. These are the sites and the data that they look at, but it's a tough time right now, but it's trending. It's trending because we're doing the right things in a very positive way, and I'm excited about that. I can't wait for all of us to be able to go to our next chapter in our lives. Dan, for you keep working.
Did you get back in the house?
I'm still trying to find an opening. The house is still asleep. Yeah, I'm wandering around my driveway right now.
Are you in your robe, your pajamas? What are you doing?
I'm already actually dressed for the day, showered and dressed and ready to go. Hey, it's Thursday at the Masters. What do you think? But I want to say this. because I think this is relatable for people. We've hit this pause button on life. All of us never saw it coming, and we've now got a sense of things that we kind of rushed through, maybe more than we had in the past. I mean, through all the gloom, I feel so thankful to be able to have this time with my wife and kids, and I know a lot of people can relate to that, and maybe they're stir crazy at this point, but you're going to have a time in your life when you're going to look back and say, I got to really play with my kids for a long stretch. And now as you, again, recalibrate and you go back and figure out what you want to do, when you get back on the treadmill of life, maybe we allocate our time in a little better fashion than we did before. And we don't rush through things. And, that's what I'm going to do out of all of this. It's going to try my best to figure out even more ways to cut corners, to stay at home a little longer, get back a little faster, do the things that are important to my children, because we're on the run all the time.
Yeah.
And, this has been such a reality check for us as a nation and all citizens of the world. And we're going to learn from this.
Well, thanks for being a good sport. Hopefully you get inside and call us if you get bored, Jim. We're always here for you. I'll leave the light on for you.
The biggest bummer of all is I couldn't play the speaker out of the back. I know we got to go, but I could have done it through my wife's computer in the kitchen. Yeah, that's what I could have done.
Next time we'll rehearse.
No, I like it better raw like this.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Here's the thing. Hey, Courtney's up. I'm on with your great friend Dan Patrick right now. Could you? Because she says you're making it sound like I'm so lazy.
We'll do this again. All right, we'll tell Courtney I said hello, and thanks again, Jim.
Dan says hello, and I was going to play it through her computer, but I didn't know how to get in the house, and now I have. You've got to go. I've got to go practice some more music narration.
Put
the Augusta melody on. See you, Dan.
All right. That's Jim Nantz.